It's Friday, and you know what that means. Another taped Friday night SmackDown in the Hunter Hearst Helmsley Paul Levesque McMahon era. The taped show era. There you go. All right? Mutual respect era or tape show era. Which sounds better? Which do you prefer? Pick your poison. The mutual respect era where everybody is shaking hands, or the taped show era, because this show tonight was taped last Friday night after that live show, the 13th of December. So yes, you can draw your conclusion if the thumbnail and the header did not give it away. This is absolutely a spoilers edition. The results from tonight's show. In the industry, we call those spoilers. So if you don't want to hear the spoilers for tonight's show, earmuffs. Or just take off now and come back after the show. Right? That's probably simply. If you actually want to watch the show tonight, even though it's taped, even though we're going to go over it, by all means. And then stop by the channel afterwards, hear BC's thoughts. Because this is basically going to be a review of the show. At least what we know on paper. I always say, you let them play it out, see how it plays off of paper. Obviously, they could add things, take things off, tweak some things, change the arrangement. So by all means, catch the show if you want. Just come back afterwards, and this will absolutely be up on the channel. But I'm trying to save you 2 hours, guys, is what I'm trying to do my good deed for the day, right? I'm trying to save you 2 hours. You could do anything else with those 2 hours. Pick up a bad habit, go play in traffic, anything sounds better than tonight's show. Because I'm looking at it, guys. I'm really trying to save you 2 hours. But if you do want to catch the show, stop by. This upload, the amped up show for Friday, December 20th, 2024, will be featuring tonight's tape SmackDown, the results and spoilers. So it will be up on the channel. So come back after the show if you need to. I'll just leave it at that. But just be full transparency. This is a spoiler show. Some people are like, BC, why don't you tell me what's going to happen? What do you think the show's about? Again, taped last week. And there, in case you're wondering, you don't have to wonder, right? I mean, this is pretty obvious by now. Yes, you're going to have a wrestler dressed up as Santa Claus tonight. Yes, you're going to have complete randomness, random matchups. And yes, you're going to have a pull-apart brawl, a Hunter Helmsley pull-em-apart brawl. Because it would not be a Hunter Hearst Helmsley show if things actually made sense, were interesting and fun. So you have to have the repetitiveness, right? Why would we actually use creativity? Hunter is just called the officer of creative, right? The chief content creative officer. But I don't know what he's an officer truly of, because I'm not seeing anything creative on this show. We'll go over it. But that's what I'm going to give you in my cold open teaser. Yes, you're going to get randomness tonight. Yes, you're going to get a pull-em-apart brawl. And yes, you're getting a wrestler dressed up as Santa Claus. And you're not going to believe what the biggest promo line of the night was, from Melo to Strowman Claus. And you're not going to believe what that line of the night was. And this should tell you everything you need to know. When people try to compare this to like Attitude Era or Ruthless Aggression, when they try to tell you it's the best era ever, right? The PG era, the kid-friendly, advertiser-friendly era. This line will tell you everything you need to know. We'll go over it when we get to the main review. Should I just leave it at that? Let's just leave it at that, man. I'll get a swig of coffee and we'll just go over this show, because it's, again, I'm here to save you guys 2 hours, man. If anything you're about to hear sounds good, it'll be on USA Tonight. So there you go. So you can either thank me for saving you 2 hours, or thanking me for going and tuning in tonight. Maybe you hear something really good. Swig of coffee, let's do this, man. Amped up for Friday, December 20th, featuring the SmackDown review / spoilers for the 20th of December. Let's go. 44 da. We rollin'. Salute. Let's do this. And full transparency, too, before we actually begin, a lot of individuals, for everything that Hunter does, they just swipe it underneath the rug, or they just are quick to just come to his defense and try to make sense of every move that he makes. But this is one of those things where it's like, you can't be serious, bro. There are people honestly going, these tape shows are because Hunter Helmsley is giving everybody time off for the holidays. Hunter Helmsley is so very charitable. He's in such a giving mood. He's such a family-oriented dude that he's basically Hunter Claus. And he's giving everybody this time off for Christmas. BC, I mean, I don't mind the tape shows if the wrestlers get to be home for the holidays. That all sounds cute, right? And warm and fuzzy, right? I mean, you hear that and you just want like a warm cup of cocoa, you know what I mean? You want a Snuggie and somebody to read you a bedtime story and just get you all up in your feels. There's just one problem. None of that's true. None of it. I mean, he could be a family-oriented dude. That's awesome. And he may want people to enjoy the holidays. That's cool. But this is business 101. Guys, tape shows started months ago. Back in October. No holidays in October, right? There's Halloween, okay? And I'm pretty sure they always wrestle on Halloween, right? Everyone wears the pumpkin on their head. Doesn't matter if it's the Vince McMahon era or the Hunter era. If somebody is going to wear a pumpkin on their head, you're going to get trick or street fights. It's going to be pretty stupid. But you don't need time off for Halloween. Nor do I think that did a show even fall on Halloween. I don't know. But even before Halloween, early October is when these tape shows started. If you're wondering, yes, that coincides right when the extension happened with Raw and USA. Raw didn't have a home for these 3 months, right before they moved to Netflix. USA said, okay, we'll extend the deal that we have, but we're chopping the third hour because they were getting SmackDown. So they didn't want the overexposure. So, okay, here comes Raw on the extension deal. Gets cut to 2 hours. What WWE did was go, wait a second, we can now tape shows. An audience, right? All these polls have shown that an audience will sit around for 4 hours. An audience does not want to sit around for 6 hours. That's what 2 3-hour Raws would have produced if you wanted to tape a show. So you couldn't do that with 2 3-hour Raws. Once it moved to 2 hours, you can now do tape shows. And it worked out perfectly because SmackDown left Fox and went to USA. With Fox, SmackDown had to be live every Friday. It was in the deal. Very few exceptions and asterisks, but only at the approval of Fox. They had to be live. USA, they don't have that deal with WWE or vice versa. So they can tape shows. 2 hours on the USA Network for SmackDown, 2 hours for Raw. That's why in October, you started to see all of these tape shows. And there was one around right before or after Thanksgiving. I remember everybody was like, whoa, Hunter is so awesome. Vince would never do this for the talent, man. They're taping a show so they can get some Thanksgiving time off. I was like, what are you... That's not even a holiday when they were taping that. Or for the taping. So then you look at this tape show. Guys, it was taped on the 13th. That's not a holiday. December 13th is not a holiday. It has nothing to do with Christmas. It was taped for tonight, the 20th. Still, not a holiday, has nothing to do with Christmas. The 20th of December is not even Christmas week, guys. We're still a couple days away from Christmas week. If you want to give him a Friday off, it's next Friday, right? There you go. But no. Do you guys want to know what Hunter is doing with the talent the day after Christmas? He's having them hit the road. They're coming to New York City. They're coming to Chicago. From Thursday, that whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, their shows already booked up. So if he was charitable and if this was all about the holidays, wouldn't you give them Christmas week off? Wouldn't you let them digest their food and let them play with the kids and all the new toys that they have the next day? No, a lot of the wrestlers have to fly out Christmas night because there's no room for error. There's no margin of error if there's delays or flight cancellations for the shows the next night in New York, Chicago, and other cities. So a lot of talent doesn't even have the They don't have the wiggle room to fly out the next morning after Christmas. They have to fly out Christmas night. Yeah. But I thought he was charitable, man. No, it's all about money. A lot of parents now will go, oh man, there's shows right after Christmas. We got to put this in their stocking or make it a gift. WWE tickets. So they go to the big cities, the Chicagos, the New Yorks, right? Where they know those tickets are going to be a lot of money. And little Charleston and little Charlena, they open up their stockings and their gifts and they see WWE tickets and boom. They don't care about the wrestlers. You're going right out Christmas night and the day after Christmas. You're flying out and you're doing those shows because there's a lot of money on the line. But there's so many people that because it's not Vince and because it's Hunter Helmsley, they don't want to just say the truth, man. Say it like it is. Tape shows suck. Why is there so many tape shows? We get it. It's business 101. They're cutting cost. But they're simultaneously talking about how business is booming and they're making record revenue. So why would you make the audience's product or the product for the audience, why would you make that suffer? Why would you make that? It's like internal sabotage. The product is nowhere near where it should be in terms of quality. So let's make it worse by constantly delivering tape shows. Because tape shows don't have a pulse. There's no lifeline to a tape show. And they know this. But they're willing to save your every penny, even though they're bringing in record revenue, every penny at the audience and the product's expense. But this has nothing to do with the holidays. The 20th, tonight, is not a holiday. Nobody is thinking, oh, I need Friday before Christmas off so that I can enjoy Christmas with my family. No, they much rather prefer not flying out Christmas night or very early the next morning to catch a show. So we do have to correct that because there's so many people that think Hunter is just a good Samaritan. And by the way, it's not even just Hunter's call to do tape shows. So I'm actually going to defend Hunter a little bit. He absolutely has a lot to say. But this starts at the top, Endeavor. They make these decisions with their financial team. Nick Khan is heavily into those discussions. And then they talk to Hunter. Do you think this is something we can do? Do you think you can do double tapings nonstop for 3 full months? Do you think it's going to hurt the product? X, Y, and Z. And Hunter must have just approved everything. Hunter was just like, no, it's not going to affect the product. People love tape shows. And if they don't, too bad. If we can save some money or gain some money, that's what this is all about, right? Yeah, but your product has to be good, man. Like, sometimes it's better to give a little to get a little, right? Or give a little and hopefully you get a lot in return. But you got to make sure the product is, live shows going into the holidays greatly helps because it's those holiday blues, man. A lot, the wrestling world always kind of goes on a lull during these times. The last thing we need is taped shows making it even worse. And every single thing, man, is just acting like Hunter like everything is just, it's not Hunter's fault, right? The product is not as good as it should be right now, but because it's the final months of the year, they're on autopilot, so it's a mulligan, right? We're not going to blame Hunter. We're going to give him a mulligan. We're going to give him a pass. The product has been average mid-AF for 3 full months, but that's because Mania season is where Hunter's gonna come to life, right? Mania season, he's going to cook. No. On this channel, BC and my unit, we're not just gonna waste 3 months out of the year because Hunter doesn't want to cook, because Hunter just wants to pack it in and go on autopilot, cruise control into the holidays. That's not acceptable, bro. This started back in October. No, man. And there's too many people that are willing to just let that slide and say, hey, these tape shows are for the holiday. It's the 20th of December, bro. This was taped on the 13th. What does any of this have to do with Christmas? You could absolutely be going live tonight. Taped next week's show tonight. You guys know I'm right. There's zero reason. This is all just business 101. But I feel that it absolutely affects the business negatively if you're giving the audience too many tape shows in 2024. Whew, oh yeah. Had to clear that up. Right. Fresh coffee. I got the time to do such. I had to clear that up. We're not giving out Good Samaritan awards to Hunter for Christmas. It's not happening on this channel. No way, dude. If that's the case, don't have them go out right after Christmas. Truly show me that you just want the wrestlers home with their fams. You want them to enjoy their family time. Awesome. Then don't have them go out right after Christmas. They'll never do that. It's business. So here we are, right? After that whole long monologue rant on why we're getting all these tape shows, and it is not about holidays, this leads us into the spoilers. Oh, and before we actually go into the spoilers, shout out to the American Nightmare Witch. I appreciate the coffees. I think it was the upload we just put up yesterday in the chat, the super chat, super thanks, and a bunch of coffees chucked to the channel, the American Nightmare Witch. Merry Christmas right back. Happy holidays. Enjoy. Rock 'em out. We're going to keep creating content throughout, though. We are not on autopilot. We are not on cruise control. So we're going to enjoy the holidays. We're going to have a very Merry Christmas, but we are going to continue to rock out content creatively, informative, and amplified. This ain't no Hunter BS production here. This is an amplified production. Thank you, American, for those coffees. Never needed, always appreciated. Channel members, we did a cool live stream last night, by the way. If you're a channel member, check it out. It was for everybody at the time, but afterwards, the tube made it members only for some reason. I was like, cool, man. If that's, I have no problem with that. You know, it's a thank you to my channel members anyway. We went over an hour long talking about Ricochet's booking. Did they book him like a dork? That's what some articles are saying. I went back and checked it out. I give you my take on what they did to Ricochet this past Wednesday. We also talk a lot of ratings, NXT, AEW's ratings, and whoa, did they go polar opposite. And then we talked, well, you guys check it out. If you're a channel member, check it out. If you're not a channel member, forget about it. You can't check it out, but channel members, that was for you guys. I appreciate it. My gold team, my amplified diamond unit, I should say. And of course, my new VIP Coffee Club card members, man. I finally got individuals in my coffee club. I've been waiting by myself with my coffee. Is anybody else joining the club? It takes 2 years to do it. Because we've only had membership for 2 years. So I've had to wait till we actually hit 2 years. And then finally we started getting coffee club members. So pretty cool, man. That's the top of the top. A coffee swig and salute to my coffee club. Let's do it, guys. I told you guys there was a Santa Claus. Yes, there was. On tonight's show, you're going to see Santa Braun. Or Braun Claus. Strowman Claus? Santa Strowman. I don't know. None of it sounds good. And nor did he look good in this. I mean, of all the people, Braun Strowman, that's who you're going to make look like a goofball in the middle of the ring. And that's what I mean. Where's the same energy? We would rip this apart if it was Vincent Kennedy. Because it's Hunter, we'll probably just laugh at it. Did you guys see Strowman as Santa? And we'll goo and gaga and LOL over it, right? Oh, man, Hunter was cooking. Dude, he put Strowman in a Santa outfit. It was too funny. He had the hat. He had the top of the, the Santa outfit. It was funny. He had the boots. If it was Vince, we'd absolutely tear it apart. But you had Santa Braun out there. He's on the Waller effect. Now, this is out of order, guys, because what we've noticed is the tapings that they've been doing have been out of order. They tape it, and then they just rearrange it afterwards. They're piping in boos. They love this. They love tape. Hunter loves the pipe-in crowd reaction. They love to manufacture with the production. That's why Lee Fitting, who runs their production, Lee and Hunter work closely to fabricate audience response. So that's why they loved the Thunderdome. It sucks, but nobody wants to just tell the truth that this sucks, and you can't fabricate and stop with the piped-in boos and the piped-in responses But this is out of order, guys. So I don't know what order they're going to have all of this in. But this is just what is happening on tonight's show. So Santa Braun Strowman is on the Grayson Waller effect. This just leads to a rematch of Melo and Santa Braun. That's all this does. Grayson Waller effect only sets up stupid, redundant matchups. Tonight is no different. We already saw Melo and Strowman. We already saw Strowman take care of Melo pretty easily, right? And this just leads to another match between the two. Melo comes out, and he had the line of the night. And it is so stupid. But that's the line that everybody was talking about coming out of last week's taping. Tonight, you're going to hear Melo look at Strowman, and Melo is in the aisleway when he says this. Santa Braun is in the ring with Waller in theory. Melo looks into the ring, looks at Braun, and he says... No, he doesn't get a swig of coffee. Melo looks at Braun, and he says, "You big, ugly, dumb Santa Claus bitch." That's it. That was the scathing line of the night. Now I understand why they're putting this era up there with the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression. The conviction when Melo says, "You big, ugly, dumb Santa Claus bitch." He really got him. I don't know how you can get up from a diss like that. "You big, ugly, dumb Santa Claus bitch." I don't know if Braun was able to sleep the whole last week after being called such a derogatory term. A Santa Claus bitch. If there was ever a time where Hunter was cooking, this is it. This is the time where he is cooking. I mean, for that line to be approved, this is somebody who really just is fully creative and just highly entertaining. A big, ugly, dumb Santa Claus bitch. And hopefully that line got you in the mood, right? The crowd is going to moan, right? They're going to add in some moans, or like some ooh, right? You're going to hear it a lot louder. They're going to really make it sick because that's the line that's going to hook you, and you need to see this rematch. And in case you're wondering, right, you know where this is headed. Melo, little tiny Melo, defeats big, ugly, dumb Santa Braun. He beats him. Pins him, I believe. I believe he pins him. But he defeats Braun. So we're back to square one. That's called 50-50 booking. Braun beat Melo. Hunter has no creativity planned. Dressing Braun up as Santa is his big creative whoa moment. So then he just says, "What if we did a rematch?" And then Melo pins Braun 50-50. They can leave it at that, or they have another match or 2 or 3 more matchups. So the story is just a bunch of matchups, right? That's how they always do it. Doesn't matter. R-Truth and Butch, they had their payoff 2 weeks ago, right? R-Truth rolled up Butch. That's it. Nope. This week, Butch walks up to R-Truth, and he's still upset. P.D. Dunne is still upset because R-Truth is calling him Butch still. So they're going to have another match. And let me guess, P.D. Dunne's going to beat R-Truth. And they'll be 50-50 booked. They'll flop W's and L's. And maybe we can watch it again. It's highly entertaining television. But we're the only ones talking about how it's not highly entertaining television. We're supposed to, when the red light goes on and the mic is ignited, when this mic goes live, we're supposed to talk about how this is so awesome because it's the Hunter Hearst Helmsley era and he's cooking. How is this fun for you? How many times do you need to see Braun and Melo with no real story, stupid little digs, a dude dressed as Santa, flipping W's and L's, in the same match over and over and over before you say enough? BC was right all along. This era sucks. always remember, man, always remember, if the company and the suits and ties and all the wrestlers, if they have to constantly tell you and remind you that this is the best era ever, that's probably a problem, right? Because it should be us telling them that. I don't know how many times this year alone I've heard Cody say, this is the best era ever. I don't know how many times I've heard Hunter say, this era is right up there and even better than the Attitude Era. He brought up the Attitude Era and said how this is better. I can't tell you how many times people like The Rock have said wrestling is cool again. And I can go on and on. But why are they constantly telling us this? They want us to believe something that is just not believable. Or at least if you have your bar raised anywhere above standard mid AF average, if you're slightly above it even, of course we're going to call that out. But if you're there and under, you probably are accepting all of this. You don't even care if it's taped every single week. You're going to tune in. You're going to go, that's awesome. Maybe you're loving it, man. Right? Mom and dad are going to get you tickets to the show, and you're just going to love all of it. That's fine. I'm not even going to rip that. That's your prerogative. I'm glad that you can enjoy all of it. That's pretty damn cool. There are times I wish I could lower my bar and my standards, honestly. So I can't even rip that. If you enjoy all this, if you like all of this. But, I mean, if you're over the age of 10 and you have your bar even semi above average or mid, this is not even acceptable to us. Santa Braun loses to Melo 50-50 booked tonight on SmackDown. And you have to sit through a whole Grayson Waller effect just to get to that rematch, by the way. Now you're going to have, this will probably open the show. Drew McIntyre is going to confront the Bloodline. Now, I don't know what that consists of. It's a tape show. I think Roman was there last week, so you might get Roman there. This is an easy way to use Roman 2 weeks in a row, right? Make it look like he showed up 2 weeks in a row. No, he was just there one night. So Roman and we believe anyway, but you'll get Jay, maybe Sammy will show, I don't know, Jimmy. But Drew McIntyre is going to confront them. And then he's going to run. He's just going to hightail it through the crowd. That's all I have in my notes. That's the spoiler that I was given. They're going to say words, and then Drew is going to hightail it. So I don't know how intriguing that's going to be. That's one of those things where maybe you'll go, all right, BC, I'll watch it just to see if it's much better than it sounds on paper. Maybe it is. I like Drew. I reading that. I don't know how that's the best way to book this dude. He confronts them and then he does he like do a cheap shot Claymore and then run maybe? I don't have that in my notes. It just does not sound creative to me. So it's one of those things where, yeah, they better produce something that is much better than what it sounds on paper. And I believe that's going to be the opening of the show. It sounds like it would be. Drew McIntyre confronting the Bloodline. If you're wondering about the bootleg Bloodline, they're going to be in action. Solo, Fatu, and Tonga are going to defeat LA Knight, Andrade, and Apollo. Yeah, LA Knight can continue to rack up L's after he lost his U.S. championship. That makes sense. Apollo is just happy he gets airtime. Apollo's like, what? I'm going to be on the show? And Andrade continues to be absolutely irrelevant, just like he was before he went to AEW. And we just said, that's Vince. Vince doesn't know what to do with him, man. If only Hunter had him, like back in Black and Gold. Hunter doesn't know what to do. Hunter doesn't know what he's doing with Andrade. Are you kidding me? Andrade, Escobar, all these dudes. He's like, what if you all go into the LWO? You guys can go in LDF, and I don't have anything after that. I was just kind of going with like a Latino theme, maybe like a Spanish. I was just... Hunter's lost. He doesn't know what to do with these dudes. It's sad. It's pathetic. Andrade gets a good mouthpiece. He's sad, man. Andrade could be something really special in this company. Should be. Put somebody like Zelina Vega with Andrade. Think about that concept. They could both be really good. Right now, Andrade's just kind of fluttering through anything. He's just probably like Apollo, happy he's getting a match, I guess. I mean, he had like 7 matches with, who was it, Melo? Nobody cared about any of them. It led to nothing. This dude is in a random 6-man losing. Now, there is conflicting reports. Some people are saying that the match ended in a no contest. So I don't know if this was a muffed finish. But more reporting is saying that they lost. The faces lost. So I'm going to go with that, but don't be too shocked if there's some type of schmozzery, so it's not as clear as to who won. But from what I am seeing more than anything else is that it leaned more toward the heels won. That makes sense because it is the bootleg bloodline. After the Survivor Series and that big L, they've been trying to make the bootleg bloodline look strong again. But LA Knight lost too, and he lost gold. You really have to help that dude out. Apollo and Andrade can't afford to keep on racking up L's. You're digging a hole so deep, they're not going to be able to crawl out of it. So I don't get this match. I don't get the finish of it. I get none of it. But isn't that Hunter's booking? He's cooking. John Gargano. Alex Shelley. Johnny Gargano will defeat Alex Shelley of Motor City on tonight's show 1-on-1. So another L for Motor City, right? They come onto the scene. They win tag titles. You think they got the rocket of all rockets? The fans are kind of like, who? It doesn't work. H takes it right off of them. And now he's got him in weird singles, taking weird single match L's. Okay. I mean, if this is the best booking you could possibly do. The only thing worth mentioning here is Johnny Gargano is going to bring out a new theme song. There's going to be a new theme. I was able to hear some of it. I don't mind it. I'm going to have to hear it actual, like on a televised production. But I didn't mind what I heard initially. Now, I only did hear about 10 seconds, but I didn't mind this. That's the only thing worth of note here, man. Gargano defeats Alex Shelley. Thanks for coming. Motor City, something tells me they're going to have permanent placement in catering for a long time to come, imminently. What else? Bianca Belair and Naomi will defeat Candy LeRae and Nia Jax to retain their championships. That's right. Naomi just became champion last week. I love Naomi. And she's earned the titles, trust me. I just can't stand when they just give somebody a championship because somebody else is out. It's never made sense to me. But Bianca and Naomi will defeat Candy LeRae and Nia Jax. Okay, I love seeing Bianca and Naomi win matches, especially Naomi. I don't know why the champion of the world, Nia Jax, has to be in this match taking an L. You guys know I keep that same energy always. I can't stand when champions are just losing nonstop or booked to be a joke before they drop a title. It makes the moment that they actually lose the title way less prestigious. Such is the case. Bianca and Naomi over Candy LeRae and Nia Jax tonight. And then you go into Kevin Owens, a car interview, Kevin Owens car interview. This will lead to, now, the first report I saw was it leads right to a Cody KO Brawl. Other reports are saying that it was later in the night they would end up brawling. So I don't know if this is one of those things where all through the show they brawl, or just at the beginning, or it's set up at the beginning and then later, or to end the show they brawl. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be edited out to try to sell the Cody injury from Saturday night's main event. So this was just for the tape show audience, live in attendance. But Cody and KO brawl tonight, a pull 'em apart brawl. Because that's all H does. That's all Levesque McMahon does. He does not want to even try to get creative. So you're going into Punk and Rollins on Monday night, and what was the most creative thing he had for those two? Pull them apart brawl. They're already brawling and fighting. That's admitting that you have no story. When you get to the brawl part of it, there's no story left. They're already fighting at that point. You're seeing half of the payoff. They're already throwing bows and fists, man. So that was Hunter Monday night just saying, I got nothing, just to go out there and brawl. And then 2 days later, He just says, and this was taped last Friday, so this was done Friday. And then a few days later, he brought the same garbage booking to Seth and Punk. But he just said, hey, Cody and KO, that's another big feud right now. I have nothing. Brawl. Just brawl. But we've already seen them brawl many times. We've already seen them wrestle a couple of times. We've seen them have matches. Face versus face versus heel. I mean, they change dynamics. So why are they just brawling again? So again, I don't know if that'll be edited out, right? Because it doesn't even make sense. The way that he was stretchered out just this past Saturday, 6 days ago. Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. Yeah, six nights ago. And all of a sudden he shows up and he's not just showing up, he's brawling with Owens. I mean, that looked like he would be out until January 6th, the Raw debut on Netflix. That's what we were all thinking. But they have this dude showing up 6 days later just so he can brawl with Kevin Owens? Doesn't even make sense. So maybe they actually think about it, right? At the time of this recording, there's enough time to edit that out of the show and make sure it doesn't air. Make sure that was just for the crowd last Friday. That's it. Make sure that was just for that crowd because there's no reason to see Cody Rhodes tonight. Sell that. That was a package pile driver, which is way worse than what Randy Orton took, and Orton's been out ever since. The way that Cody was taken out, you think this dude's out for months. We know he'll be there for Netflix, but still, I mean, you want the illusion that he's out for at least bare minimum the rest of December. And it's the holidays anyway, so perfect. But no, they need him in New York or Chicago or all those big cities right after Christmas. So I guess they're thinking they can't afford to leave him out. But they're not even going to sell this a full week. 6 days ago, and boom, he's already there. Because, again, they taped this on Friday. So they backed themselves into a corner. They found themselves in a pickle. But whether they edit it out or not, that's what actually did happen last Friday. There was a pull-them-apart brawl. We'll see if it makes the airwaves tonight. But I would ask, as I always do, how many times are you guys going to see a pull-them-apart brawl in the Hunter Hearst Helmsley era before you finally go, this is not fun anymore? Everybody's just brawling, man. That is just screaming lack of creativity. Just, I don't know, brawl. You'll see Tozawa and Gable brawling on Monday, probably. That's a tape show, too. What am I saying? That's taped as well, days before Christmas. If you're all excited for Raw, it's taped as well, guys. Trust me. So, is what it is, man. But another pull-em-apart brawl is planned for tonight. Again, what actually makes the airwaves, we'll see. It could be edited out. I'm hoping it is. But the way that they do the interview with Owens, there might be no way to edit it out. Right? The whole thing may be to set up just the brawl. So there's just no way. They have to do it. We'll see what they do, guys, tonight. But that is the results and spoilers and my thoughts for tonight's SmackDown. Recorded a week ago. A lot of fans already knew all of this a week ago. So I don't know how fun it can truly be. There's no spontaneity. There's no surprise element. There's none of that. You are literally getting... you're getting below average creative and below average booking. I mean, from what I'm reviewing, man, that's as honest as I can be with you guys. I wish I could praise this stuff. There's nothing on here that I can even be excited about or say, hey, man, this is going to lead to something really cool. Like Naomi and Bianca defeating Candy and Nia leads to nothing of substance. It's just a random match with random W's and L's being given out. Nothing of substance afterwards. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't make me go, oh, man, Bianca and Naomi, this is so good. They just beat Candy and Nia. Or Nia with the championship, watching her lose like this tag team match. Like, oh man, Nia's such a dominant champion. You see her lose that tag match with Candy? John Gargano beating Alex Shelly. I'm sure it's a good wrestling match. I'm sure it's maybe rated 3, 4, maybe 4.5 stars. What's it doing interest? What does this L do for Alex Shelley? What does a singles W do for John Gargano, right? Over Alex Shelley. Santa Braun and Melo flipping W's and L's with one another, 50-50 booking one another. Nothing on the show, man. LA, Andrade, and Apollo losing a 6-man tag, or even being in a 6-man tag. How is that making the bootleg bloodline feel more special to you? Man, after seeing them in that 6-man tag, the bootleg bloodline is devastating. Man, did you see Apollo in that 6-man? I want to see more Apollo. It didn't dawn on me until I saw the 6-man. You guys know I'm right. This should be fun, man. If you got the creative, where's my creative Sharpie? Well, I got a creative highlighter. How's that? So after I'm done with my creative Sharpie, I'll highlight all my awesomeness. But if I'm writing a wrestling show, and I'm sure most of you guys feel the same, if you were the head of writing, if you were the COO, right, the chief creative officer, whatever the little letters are after Hunter's name, if you were the officer of creativity, wouldn't you be having fun with this? Wouldn't you be thinking, dude, if we do this, it could lead to this? Oh my God, the audience would be, the jaws dropped. You know we're not getting, come on. I just went over this show. What are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing? That's what I got for you guys, man. Amped up for Friday, December 20th, 2024. The results and spoilers for tonight's show. If you came back afterwards, after the show, how'd it go? So, what do you want to talk about? But yeah, if you caught the show and you came back afterwards, I'm hoping it was at least a little better than how it sounds on paper. I don't know if it's worthy enough of 2 hours of your Friday night primetime, but no matter what, hopefully I saved you guys a couple of hours, because obviously they don't care about these shows right now. I'm not so sure that we should. Until next time, and there will be that next time. 44 Dive. That's a wrap. Check you. Salute.